413 here back in the day, and today guys, as some of you have noticed, there is some brand new amazing news here in Forza Horizon 4, and that is that, yes, Mitsubishi is finally back in the game. Now, there was a couple ways that I thought it was going to come in, and there was one way that I was a little bit afraid of, and that was the possibility of it being a paid-for expansion. However, though, Forza's kind of fallen off that bandwagon since, you know, they had the Porsche expansion several games ago. And now, this is a free 7-car car pack brought into the game, and I am so excited, guys. That means 7 brand new Mitsubishis have been brought into Forza Horizon 4, and I'm so excited. As you guys can see right here, I am driving this absolutely amazing Mitsubishi Evo X. I love this car to death. I really and truly do. I kind of want to buy these one day. I want to buy one of these one day, but the thing is, though, they're quite expensive still. They are really, really still expensive. I've seen some very nicely modified ones, and honestly, guys, I'm absolutely in love. But without further ado, let's actually go ahead and take a look at the rest of the cars. So let's go ahead and start things off with the oldest car on this list, which is the 1992 Mitsubishi Galant VR4. And one of the cool things about every single one of the Mitsubishis that was brought into the game, they all have body kits and body upgrades of some way or another. None of them are wide body or rocket bunny kits or anything like that. Whoa, look at that. There's a little glitch right there. You can see right through the exhaust to the floor. Oh, Forza. You know, there's always something like that going on. But honestly, guys, this car is just a classic. You know, I could have owned one of these as my first car. There were several kids I went to school with who had, like, old Mitsubishi Galants as their first vehicle. I ended up with a 1994 Mercedes C220, and then I had my Civic, but this would have been a pretty cool car to have. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some of these upgrades. First thing on this one, we got our front bumpers, we got an AMG bumper. Did Mitsubishi and Mercedes partner up for this one? I'm a little curious on that. And then we got this. What the hell is going on? You got 2 lights on the front, you got 2 lights next to the mirrors, and then you got these dinner plates coming off the sides. I don't get that one. And then of course we have the Forza bumper. After that we go to wings. You know, you can have this wing, or you can have the Forza wing, or no wing whatsoever. Now when we go here to the rear bumper, you can have a little bit of a bigger bumper, which, you know, really not too bad. You know, it's not ricey or anything like that. Then we get to this. This is the one that I want you guys to see, because this is so weird. Look at that. Look at the freaking, like, the mud flaps in the back are rolled up. There's mud flaps on there. There's 2 in the middle, and oh my god, it's just mud flaps. Every wheel gets a mud flap. The bottom of the car gets 2 mud flaps. The bumper gets a mud flap. Everybody gets a mud flap. Like, there's just so many on here. I'm actually going to go ahead and make this car look the craziest that it possibly can. And then, of course, we just get a hood that puts in some little, oh god, what do you call these? Fuck, I can't remember. I really, really should know. Oh god, that's gonna annoy the piss out of me. But yeah, we have that bumper right there. We're just gonna go ahead and throw all the upgrades on this car for now. This is the one that I actually like the most, and then we're gonna go ahead and put this on, because that is the craziest this car can be. What on earth is this monstrosity? It is hilarious. But let's go ahead and get into the next car. So next up on the list, we have the 1995 Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX, another vehicle that I actually could have had as my first car. It wouldn't have been the GSX, though. It probably would have been the front-wheel drive version. But I wasn't into that. I didn't want a Mitsubishi Eclipse. I didn't really feel for it, you know. It was just one of those cars. It's like, it's there. It's a possibility. You know, they're relatively cheap and inexpensive. I don't think we even have the GSX here in the United States. But again, like the last car, this one does get some pretty interesting upgrades. As we go here into the front, we've got some interesting front bumpers. I don't know what that one is. It looks like it has fangs. Holy crap! That looks like something out of Alien. And then we got some actual decent ones right here with the VIS, and that's not great either. I'm gonna go with the VIS one. That's the one I like best. Come back here to spoilers. We only have the Forza spoiler. And then we get back here, you know, that's not too bad. That's just kind of a lip kit sort of deal. And then we got that one. Oh, you can see everything under there. And then we have whatever that is. I don't even know. And then the Bomb X kit. Let's go with the Bomb X on that one. And then we come over here to the sides. And what do we got here? We got this right there. Why is like pointed up in the middle. I don't know. Like, you can get so much rice on these vehicles. It is absolutely crazy. Look at that. That's like touching the ground, basically. Holy crap. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make this thing slammed. We're going to hella slam this. And we do get a hood, which does get rid of that nasty little bump right there. I don't like the bump in the hood on the driver's side. I think it's so weird. So I will definitely end up putting on this hood no matter what I actually do. This is not going to be what I actually do to this car. I'm going to make this a little bit better than that in the end. But yeah, that's what you can do to this thing. It's absolutely crazy. But let's move on to the next one. So the next up we have the 1997 Mitsubishi GTO. Now I actually have a buddy of mine who has 3 of these. 2 of them are just parts car for his main one. But yeah, he does have quite a few of these. And honestly, this car is amazing. It's basically Mitsubishi's attempt at making a very, very quick sports car, almost into that supercar territory of the day, as it did have 320 horsepower, and this thing looks sweet. I absolutely love this thing to death. I wish I could afford to get one of these. I do remember when I was younger seeing them for relatively inexpensive dollars, but now, holy crap, these things are so damn expensive. But like the other cars, we can rice this one too. We can make it work. Oh, so much rice. Look at that. What the hell is this? I just don't even know. We got the Bomb X kit and the Forza one. Let's go with the Bomb X kit for now. What on earth? Some of these are just bad. Oh, look at that wing though. Like, look at that. That is so terrible. Oh, that is so terrible. We got that one too, and the Forza wing. I would much rather just have this stock wing. It looks so much better with it. And then we come over here to the rear end. We got the Bomb X. Like, look, it's got spots for another set of exhausts. I just don't even know. And then we got the Yaris kit. Let's throw the Yaris one on there. Look at this, though. Look at this. There's, like, a spot for, like, a hole. And it's not cut out. I just... Sometimes thinking back at some of those old classic racer cars, it's just crazy to think about. Like, look at this. Like, is the airflow actually supposed to be channeled into there, back into the wheel? I have no idea. Let's go with the Bomb X one, though, for now. And then we got our hood, which, yeah, that's funky as well. What is going on? Like, there's 2 bumps, but only one of them's got a slit cut in it. I don't know. There we go. That's our ricer. Just, oh, the upgrades on this car are absolutely atrocious. But let's move on to our Evos now. So next up we have the 1999 Mitsubishi Lancer Evo X GSR. And I feel like this car looks very Subaru-esque. Like, they were really trying to match the styling of Subaru with this one. The one thing I really don't like about this car, though, is this front bumper. Those 2 giant bumps on the front. I just don't get those. I know they're like spots where you can put in some lights, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. Not a big fan of it at all. The exhaust on this one, though, does seem to be fully intact. But yeah, this is a very interesting car. I do love me in Evo. I really, really do. But let's go ahead and take a look at the upgrades. So we have our first one right here, which is the one that I like the best, where you can essentially just take off the bumps and give little tiny air intake holes. You know, it's really not too bad. We have the Forza one, which adds ourselves a nice bar right there to the front. We've got this Yaris one as well, which is also not too bad either. And then we have the traditional Forza one. We're going to go ahead and stick with that one for now. Spoilers, I like the original spoiler on this. I think it's the best one out of these because some of them are a little crazy. Actually, no, that one's not bad. That one's a little atrocious, a little out there. Then we have the Yaris wing. Look at that bad boy. That is a big ass wing right there, my dudes. That is a big one. And then we have the June wing, which just does paint body match. Then we have a Forza wheel on the roof. Okay, not too bad. And the Forza spoiler and just the plain old Mitsubishi. Nothing going on at all. So we're actually going to stick with this small one there. Down here on the sides, we can basically just go ahead and throw on some mud flaps. And then on the hood, we do get some more options. As we see, we can basically take that one air intake off, make it a little bit more blended in, I guess. You know, we have some little blue panels. I don't know what those are at all. Then we can do a carbon fiber one. And then we come over here and we can just start doing the Forza stuff. Add in a roof scoop. Add in some lights, and then lights and a roof scoop. So that's what we can do right there. Not too bad at all. Yeah, I could definitely see you growling this car. That's not too bad. Not too ricey on this one. You know, there's some ricey options. You can make this a ricer if you want to. But yeah, that actually works. Let's move on to the Evo 7. So here we have the 2004 Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 8 MR. Actually, it's not an Evo 7, it's an Evo 8. My bad, my dudes, my bad. So here we have the Mitsubishi Evo 8, which honestly, guys, looks pretty damn good in my opinion. I feel like this is kind of where Mitsubishi really started to kind of fall into the design language, make a car that looks like a Mitsubishi Evo. This is kind of really when I felt like they started having that look. They started looking like an Evo. This one, of course, we can also do a bunch of really interesting upgrades to it as well. Let's go ahead and start things off here at the front bumper. We have a bull bar that is a option as well, like on the last one. We have nothing whatsoever but an exposed intercooler, well, a much more exposed intercooler with some black piping. That's pretty cool. I really like that. And then we have this option as well, which that's kind of getting into the rice territory, if I do say so. Again, we got this one, which has some interesting, weird bolt-on pieces, but I feel like this is actually, meant to be aerodynamic. It's actually supposed to work. And then we have the Forza front bumper. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Yeah, let's go with the ricey one for now. Then we come back here to spoilers. We got the Forza spoiler, which, holy shit, this thing looks terrible. Look at that. Like, they've got the tires strapped to the roof. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. But what the hell is this wing on the back? It's a double wing, and it's not even sitting on the back of the car. It's sitting like way up there towards the window. I don't even know what to think of this thing. It is just so crazy. It is absolutely ridiculous. Then we have our C West wing, which is kind of like, a traditional Forza wing, which I think that this one is a traditional Forza wing here. But this is a thing from Mitsubishi. This is a Mitsubishi upgrade, which is so bizarre. And then, of course, we have no spoiler as an option. I'm going to go ahead and stick with the stock one for now. Now we move over here to the back bumper. First up, we have the C West bumper. Just a plain old Forza bumper, which I don't even know what the difference is. Oh, it has a little tow hook right there. That's pretty cool. But look at the, oh god, look at the exhaust pipe right there. You can just see right through to the ground. Oh, and then we have the Yaris bumper, which adds a nice little carbon fiber touch there around the exhaust tip. Not too bad, not too bad. We'll actually go with that one for now. Then we come over here, and we do get a couple more options on the side skirts. We have traditional side skirts right here, basically just something to extend it down to the ground a little bit farther, and not even really by that much. And then we get the Forza one, which does add some nice mud flaps. And then finally, we move over here to the hood. We got the C West hood, which just adds that kind of weird funky line there to the middle. We have Forza hood number 1, Forza hood number 2, again throwing those lights on the sides, and the Mitsubishi hood, which just adds this really funky ass roof scoop. Like, I mean, it floats. Like, it's just connected by one little piece right there. It floats. And of course, the Forza one has to add that too. I don't like the roof scoop, but everything else on this I really kind of dig. You got the hood clips, you got the lights, you got the nice little snorkel there. So that's what we're going to go ahead and go with on here. This is our 2004 Mitsubishi Lancer Evo. So next up we have the 2006 Mitsubishi Lancer Evo IX MR, which really, the Evo 9 and the Evo 8, there's not a whole lot of change that is actually done to the cosmetic wise. The engine does change in the Evo 9 MR versus the Evo 8 MR. In fact, there's actually a drop in horsepower, which is kind of bizarre in my opinion. But look, just looking at this car, I love it. I really, really do. I feel like they kind of nailed down a lot of the styling, but one of the weird things is, though, is a lot of the upgrades on this car are exactly the same for the Evo 8. Let's go ahead and start things off with the front bumper here. As you guys will actually notice, we get the bull bar right off the bat. We get the exposed intercooler with the black piping, so on and so forth. I think this one's a little different than the last one, but holy crap, look at the gap in the mesh. That is too much gap. Too much gap! And then we get over to this one, which isn't actually too bad. I actually kind of like that one. And then we have the Forza bumper. But we're going to go ahead and stick with this one for now. Then we come over here to spoilers. I'm probably going to end up sticking with the stock spoiler. But we have, again, this funky-ass Mitsubishi spoiler with the tire on the roof. What is going on with this? Why is it so far up there? The world may never know. We got our C West spoiler, which is the same one from the Evo 8. We've got the Mitsubishi stock one again like that. We've got the standard Forza spoiler, and then we've got no spoiler whatsoever. So again, I'm going to stick with the stock one. Then we come back here to the back, and we have our, again, this is very similar to the Evo 8 one. And also, look, the pipe is invisible again. What on earth is happening? We have a Forza one that has the tow hook again, and then we've got this Yaris one, which has that little carbon fiber bit. Very, very similar to the Evo 8. Again, we're probably going to see much of the same options here on the side skirts, as we have just a little bit of a lowering. In fact, they're pretty much exactly the same. And then you get the option for the mud flaps. Hood, basically the same again, except for this time around, you get a few more options, as we have our C West hood, exactly the same from the Evo 8. We have the Forza Hood 1, which has the hood clamps and the lights. Then we have Forza Hood 2, which has the hood clamps, lights, and a snorkel. And then we have the Mitsubishi one, which adds the roof scoop. I'm kind of glad they gave us this option where we don't have to have that ugly-ass roof scoop on this one. That is what I like. And Forza Online is apparently going to start in 27 seconds. It's actually, should say 5 minutes, but for some reason it's not counting down. That's kind of weird. But let's move on to the next car. So then finally our last car is the 2008 Mitsubishi Lancer Evo X GSR. Again, guys, this is probably my favorite car out of this new car pack. I absolutely love Mitsubishi Evo 10s. I mean, just look at this thing. It looks so damn good, and it rocks out with 305 horsepower and 315 pound-feet of torque, which is the same as the Mitsubishi Evo 8. Honestly, though, look at this thing. It is just a piece of art. I love this car to death. And, according to Top Gear, it is faster than a Subaru WRX. But right now, let's go ahead and take a look at the upgrades for this. They're a little bit more limited in comparison to some of the others, but we have our charge bumper, which actually kind of makes it look Audi-esque. I don't know why. It really gives it sort of that Audi styling. I don't know. It does. It looks like a modern Audi. And then we have the Yaris bumper, which just is basically some nice little cannons there on the side and a Mitsubishi logo delete. And then we've got the Forza one, which adds typical Forza stuff. Cannons, front splitter, tow hook, that sort of stuff. Let's go with the charge one for now. It is the most unique, I think, in my opinion. Then we've got the Yaris one right here, the Yaris, oh god, the Yaris wing. Then we have the Forza wing and the Mitsubishi no wing. So again, you see there's a little bit more limited options here. Then we have the charge bumper. What the fuck is going on with this? Like that, it just, I'm sticking with the stock one. The stock one just looks so much better. Then we come over here to side skirts, and there are some very interesting changes. I'm actually going to back up quite a bit here. So first up, we have the charge side skirt. Then we have the Yaris side skirt. You know, just some normal little side skirts. Adds a little bit of flair to it. And then we get our simple mud flaps, but you notice there's a lot more Forza options. Well, the Mitsubishi Evo has a surprise for us. BAM! We have red lights, we have blue lights, then we have red lights with mud flaps, blue lights with mud flaps, and then we just have a mud flap and a wheel on the roof. So yeah, this one can be a police car. Woohoo! Not too shabby, not too shabby. I'm actually going to go with the mud flaps and the blue lights. I think that's the best option here. And then we come over here to hoods. We have the charge hood right there. Then we have a Forza hood, which adds a nice little roof scoop. We have lights on the front, and then we have lights with roof scoop. So lights with roof scoop it is, and this is our Mitsubishi Evo X GSR. So there you have it. That is all the brand new Mitsubishis and all of their upgrades available now in Forza Horizon 4. And that's where we're going to go and wrap things up for today. If you guys want to, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at twitter.com/Griffin13 and Instagram.com/Griffin13. And if you guys like this video, go and make sure to hit that like button down below for us, because you guys already know your support is so greatly appreciated. And make sure to subscribe for more videos coming out all the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.